Hello, YouTube. Okay, so I had two videos that I was trying to post. One of them is just cutting up and it did not want to share because it was a continuation from the previous video. Because for some reason my phone does that sometimes. It'll just like, okay, I think that's enough of that one, then go to the next one. So I figured I'd finish my conversation that I was telling y'all about New York and the most recent ex or whatever. So, but I'm gonna do my squats too, so hopefully y'all can hear me because this thing be cutting up. Like I said, it does what it wants to do when it wants to do it. But just to let me see, where did I leave off in the last video? All right, basically what I was saying was they grew up together, right? And they're friends, and I started seeing different things about the most recent ex that compares to New York. And this is before I found out they were friends. You know what I mean? I did not know they grew up in the same neighborhood on the same block. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to keep it with the homies. You know, I'm not trying to do all that. But it happens, especially when it comes to New York, because he literally seems to know every freaking body. So I'm not going to be talking to anybody else from Tallahassee at this point. I'm done with that part. But yeah. So I think I left off saying something about like he was fine. I think it was the last thing that he caught. So I believed what I wanted to believe. I chose to believe what I wanted to believe or whatever. So yeah, uh, basically the things that they seem to have in common were, at first they want to rush things like, yeah, we in this is gonna be like a forever. It's no temporary, no seat fillers around here. Because that's a question that I asked. Are you looking for a seat filler until in the meantime, in between time, because you done been through some stuff, or what is it? And he was like, nah, ain't no seat fillers around here. Ain't nothing temporary around here or whatever. But then when you start to get closer to that point of real commitment, you go to, backing away. So I was like, yeah, that's weird. So that did take me to that trust issues part where you probably got a whole secret life too. You feel me? So yeah, we was definitely on it. And I'm just like, when I see signs, I try not to compare people because I hate to be compared. And that's something else that he was also doing. He was comparing. He doesn't realize this, but you can't compare people. And even I know that. You cannot compare people. What you had with one person is not what you're going to have with the next person, correct? So, basically, what it was is, again, the backing away. You full force, you want this is what you want, you in it, then when you get it, or when you're thinking you back there, now all of a sudden nerves kick in. You go to overthinking, you no longer want it. And one thing that I did say, honestly was that I feel like because they grew up together, and I know my son's gonna be like, that's sexist, mom. He loves saying that. That's his favorite thing to me. If I say something about men or anything, he's like, mom, that's sexist. One thing that I did realize is, I'm sorry, I just realized they actually came and finally dumped the recycling, so I'm gonna go get that. But one thing I did realize is, with men, they tend to share one brain. Depending on how long they've been around each other. And the fact that y'all grew up as adolescents together, and then as adults, you might not hang out as much, but you see each other from time to time. It's almost as if you share one brain. So I was like, no wonder. No wonder I was seeing so many similarities. It wasn't just me and my paranoia. They still sharing a brain. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, people who find offense to that. I'm not saying either one of them are really bad guys, because at their core, they are decent people. I say that about any ex, really, because if I thought they was just straight up nasty, I would have never spoke to them, which is something I said on a previous video. I never would have even been trying to kick it with them. I thought they was just straight up nasty people. And I hate when people do that. Like, they get out of a situation with somebody and it's like, they wasn't nothing anyway, and yada, yada, yada. Well, what does that say about you, sir? What does that say about you, ma'am? You know what I mean? So at their core, they're not bad people. They're just confused. That's how I look at it. Like, when I know what I want, I actually know what I want, and I go for it. When men know what they want, they tiptoe around it, then they question it, then they start questioning others, and that's not my thing. And both of them also had this thing where they felt like you have to go through other people in their lives in order to really get with them. And that's not my thing. And my brother told me that I really do think like a man in certain ways because, you know what I'm saying? I was talking to him about it and he was like, yeah, he was basically saying I had to go through his sister and that person and that person. And I'm not on that. You feel me? I feel like I already got through them draws. That's good enough for me. You know, like, what else do I have to go through? And he was like, ugh. Oh, you think like a man. You really think like such a nigga right now. Like, ugh. But yeah, I'm not really on that. Like I don't feel like I have to go through somebody else other than yourself to figure out whether or not this is gonna work. Yes, everybody's gonna have their opinion. I don't care. And like I was also telling my brother, like men always seem to think that women are always listening to their friends. Like, and I've been accused of that so many times, but if y'all really knew me, you would know. My friends have nothing to do with my final choice, my final decision. They can share their opinion all they want to, but that's not going to persuade me one way or the other. My family is not going to persuade me one way or the other, because if that was the case, I wouldn't have talked to really none of the people that I talked to, because there was always some fault in them that somebody else saw. And maybe they were right. Maybe I should start listening to my people. I don't know, but I always been the type where, no, this is what I want. This is what I like. This is what I feel like I need in my life right now. I'm going to go for it. Like, that's just always been me. I'm not going to listen to somebody else's opinion and be like, you know what, you right, girl. Forget him. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, that's not me. That's not who I am. I don't like to basically fall in line with everybody else's choices in life. That's not what you might not like. It might be something that I'm completely infatuated with. You know what I'm saying? We all have different tastes. You feel me? But yeah, no, I don't do that. So when somebody tells me that I'm going to have to go through X, Y, and Z in order to get back to A, nah, you know what I'm saying? Like, And I also said this before too. And I know it's my own brand of toxicity and ignorance. That's okay. I'm working through all that. But I've also said this as well, where I'm just, I'm kind of hard headed. Basically, that's the easiest way to put it. That's not even what I was going with, but my mind in like 100 places right now because I'm like, girl, you got to finish doing these squats. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But I want to make sure you all can hear me, so that's why I picked the phone back up. I really do need a whole setup. I'm going to get one eventually. But like I said, I had to pay for these classes. I had to pay for the uniform, the shoes. You know, I still got to pay for, like, 2 different LLCs. And I know some people was like, LLCs ain't even that expensive, sis. You could have been did that. Yeah, but I like to do things on my own time. See? That's more so where I was going with that. I like to do things on my own time, my own way. That's just how I am. I really don't like to be in with the in crowd. I've never been the type to try to keep up with the Joneses. I don't care about the newest and the latest. That's just not my thing. Like, that's not me. Like, I'm somewhat of a goofball, and I appreciate that fact about myself. That part is not toxic, but the hard-headedness is kind of, it can be a little toxic. And I tend to end up with hard-headed individuals as well. There we go. All right. I'm sorry, y'all, because y'all know I don't like to do no baby hair, so them edges be looking crunchy sometimes. I just, this is what I do. Whoop, whoop. There we go. Peace. Anyway. So, yeah, let me just do this thing then, since I don't feel like actually putting the phone down. I'm going to do my little side lunges. Ugh. This is how you get rid of those side rolls, people. Yeah. Work it out. But yeah, so I should not compare people, and I know this. I shouldn't. But I do. And I feel like most people do. And some of us do it without the intention of doing so. But what was unfair to me in this situation was, although I was comparing him to someone, he was doing the same. And no offense, and I'm not trying to bring up no hard feelings or emotions. I'm not talking down. But in my situation this go round, I'm being compared to someone that can no longer basically compete. I'm not trying to compete with anybody, but, and that's another thing, because he actually asked me that, are you afraid of a little competition? I'm not afraid of competition because the only person I compete with is me. You see what I'm saying? But when you're comparing me to someone that is no longer here, you see what I'm saying? That could be very hard to do, because now you got me trying to compete with a memory, and I'm not trying to compete with that at all. Like, she was her own beautiful individual person, and I am mine. You know what I mean? Ooh, That's gonna give me some backlash later. I just feel it in my soul, in my gut, in my spirit. Whew. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. It's another Christmas day for me. My package has arrived. Anyway, one of them. How you doing?
Good. How are you today?
Pretty good. Thank
go.
you, hon.
Yep. Have a blessed one.
You too. You gotta love Amazon Prime. I don't care what nobody says. Amazon Prime is really like Christmas Day for adults. Even though the package is for Vanessa. Because secretly, and not so secret, some people know, but she doesn't know, I threw away her pool from last year because it had a hole in it. And my mom was like, you could just patch it up, girl. And I'm like, girl, it's already in the trash. So I ordered her a new pool, and luckily this one came with a pump. You see what I'm saying? It came with a pump, y'all. Yes, thank you, Lord, because I had to blow that other one up by mouth. And I was like, damn, I thought a pump came inside. It didn't come inside. So I made sure this time this one came with a pump. Good to go. Hello. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Shout. Anyway, back to the subject at hand. I love Amazon Prime. Oh, Jesus. I have a shopping addiction because I no longer smoke. Not cigarettes, though. I need to cut those out. Like, I quit those. Y'all know that I had quit those. But anyway, we talked about that already before. Shay rambles. Keep up. So, yeah. So, now that I don't smoke, the Grinches, the Zaza, you know, now I ain't smoking that. My shopping addiction has picked up a little bit, but it's not like I'm just shopping for me though. And a lot of the stuff do be necessities. Like I had to get a nursing watch in order to keep time when I'm doing blood pressure, even though I have yet to get my blood pressure cuff. I had to get a uniform for the exam, even though I have yet to get my exam date. I had to get some white nursing shoes also, got those. Yet again, still haven't got my exam date. Anyway, child, let me just walk a little bit because obviously I'm not going to be able to do too much of nothing else. So yeah, both of these guys are great guys in their own right, but when you're being compared to the last or the latest or even a sibling, or sometimes like some guys will compare you to their sisters, like my little sister will do this, that, and the third. What about you? You feel me? We are all our own individuals. And like I said, I am guilty of it, and I need to cut that out. Excuse me 1 second, because I know I'm supposed to be drinking water, but I have some bold ginger ale right now, and I love it. I'm not advertising for none of these products y'all done seen in this video. Let me just say that. Plus, I already drunk like 4 things of water today, and I'm going to drink another 4. So just chill. But yeah, I'm guilty of it as well, because like I said, I compared the two of these people without even realizing they knew each other. And then when I realized they knew each other, I was like, that brought those trust issues back up, honey. But then at the same time, my problem with the most recent is also this. If you start off one way, you need to finish that way. And I got that from a homegirl. I'm not going to say her name, but she know who she is. But she's not the only one that said it either. Let's just say that. But that was one of her favorite sayings. You know what I'm saying? You start that race how you finish that race. You finish that race how you start that race. Consistency is the key. Now, if we up 24/7 on the phone, falling asleep and everything like churn, and then it goes from that to, I didn't talk to you yesterday at all. I didn't talk to you the day before that at all. You don't want this, do you? That's what that says to me. And I know I'm not alone there. I know I'm not. Matter of fact, anybody that wants to comment down below, let me know. If you are constantly talking to someone and the communication shortens, it's one of two things. Either you don't want this no more, or you found somebody else and you're trying to figure out which one you want the most. That's where I be coming from. And I'm not even naturally a jealous person. All the guys that I talk to can tell you that. Naturally not a jealous individual at all. But I'm very observant. And when I say I'm observant, I just peep things out. Either you got somebody else in the back pocket, or you just ain't feeling it. You know what I'm saying? Or you got I say 3 things. It can also be you have too many other people in your ear telling you who that person is, but you're not listening to that person. Now, we had decided to do a 90-day probation period, basically. You know, kind of like the little Steve Harvey thing, but with our own little set of little rules and whatnot. It's not necessarily saying 90 days and no good, but just 90 days to get to really know each other and peep each other out. And I'm thinking, okay, well, if we get to know each other, we should be getting to know one another. We weren't talking the way we were. And then Not only that, but when we did talk, we talking about everything but us, ourselves as individuals. You might be talking about, he might talk about his past a little bit, but my question to him would be this: what did you learn about me, other than what someone else must have told you? Because you weren't asking me any questions. You weren't trying to get to know me. You would overtake the conversations. Y'all, I'm sorry, I gotta get this pool out. My baby might get up in here today. Okay, I'll do that in a second. But you know what I'm saying? Like, if we're supposed to be getting to know one another, it should be like a mutual respect and understanding and conversation going back and forth. It should be a back and forth conversation. I'm learning more about your homegirl than I ever did about you. And I'm learning more about your homegirl and your homeboy than you ever even considered to try to get to know about me. So we getting to know each other's people. Well, I'm getting to know your people, you know, but there was nothing asked of me to get to know me. So how is this I just want to get to know you better situation if you're not getting to know me better? To me, and I did, it's my fault, y'all, I did mention maybe we should have did the little 90-day probation thing that you like to do. Because he told me he likes to do that majority of the time with people. But he was like, nah, I'm in this. We together. So when I said that, because the conversation was lacking, and he told me, like, you know,